Are there lots of different trim options for the exterior of the fireplace?
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, what's up? It's Brandon with NCC TV, and today we're on site with Dan at Town & Country talking about some electric fireplace options and some gas fireplace options. Today we've got some Napoleon products and Montego products. So we'll turn it over to Dan and he can explain some of the differences between electric and gas, and then also some of the differences between some of the different fireplaces that they have inside their showroom.
Currently the style trend is with a linear type of fireplace, which is kind of a linear rectangle with a ribbon burner. They are modern, available with different types of media inside, whether it's glass or the beach fire kits or log kits, a lot of different media choices that can take from the cues of the designer for the rest of the project. And so on this side here, we've got a couple of different choices of the Napoleon fireplaces. One's somewhat of a traditional with a log kit, and then the one on top is a 46-inch linear, and that's got a beach fire kit in it. They both have beautiful flames. They are made in Canada, so we have consistent supply of them. The pricing is consistent, and they offer very good value.
Are there lots of different trim options for the exterior of the fireplace?
Yes. Yeah. Some of the designers of projects like not to have trim, so that they can blend completely into their surroundings, kind of like this one does, where it doesn't have a trim kit around it, but it allows the air to escape from that space. And then you can have non-combustible components right to the fireplace. Others like this provide stainless steel or flat black. There's various different colored trim options, and it all is to kind of suit the rest of the design for the project.
On a lot of houses that we're working on, specifically, the designers are speccing materials to kind of go right up to the fireplace. So
yeah.
On a lot of these different fireplaces, is that kind of a restriction? Is there a distance restriction on non-combustible materials that we can put in front or around the fireplace, or is every fireplace kind of a little bit different?
Yeah, the absolute key is before you start an install to read the entire manual, and a professional gas fitter will do that. And then the manual will tell on each fireplace what's acceptable around the fireplace, whether it can be combustible material like this, which is kind of just an MDF product, or if it needs to be a non-combustible built on steel stud and rock board. Each one of the fireplaces will have its own specific requirements, and all of that information is in the manual and the specs of the fireplace.
So it's really important for a customer and the designer to really dig into what type of fireplace they're going to be selecting for the space to make sure that it functions for them correctly.
Absolutely. It would be it'd be senseless to spec a fireplace and it end up not being able to physically fit, or not be able to have the type of trim around it that's specified.
So Dan, I notice on this fireplace here, the flame is not too big, but is there a lot of adjustability within the flame that we can increase this flame a lot larger, or we could decrease it to kind of accommodate the space?
Yep. Each different fireplace has its own specific characteristics. The capacity varies typically in between 17,000 BTUs up to about 50,000 BTUs. Some of the fireplaces have a manual control adjustment, which like this one here does. And this fireplace has the adjustment built right into a remote thermostat. Additionally, a lot of the newer model of fireplaces have a Bluetooth adapter that they can connect. They have connectivity to a smartphone, so that you can have all of the adjustment features of the fireplace built right into your smartphone.
In a lot of houses, primarily actually in the last two houses, our customers have been very specific with where they want their TV placed. And we actually selected the fireplace in order to position their TV closer to the flame. And so is there like a true guide or restriction on how far your TV can be away from the fireplace, or is it specific to each unit?
So key function of a larger linear fireplace that's got a larger BTU is the addition of a cool wall kit or a dynamic heat control system, which basically directs the heat that's generated in the fireplace above the TV to the top of the ceiling area where we can place a grill. And then the heat that's generated in the fireplaces kind of bypasses the back of the TV and comes out at the top. So it protects the electronics of the TV from not having all of that heat rising up right past the television.
Can you adapt that to this unit and this unit and this unit, or is it specific on each unit?
It's specific to each fireplace.
Okay.
Some of them have that ability and some of them don't. And all of that information is available through our website, through the manufacturer's website.
Typical installation, just kind of run me through that if I'm a customer that's looking at buying a fireplace.
Step one would be the aesthetics.
Okay.
What do you want the fireplace to look like? Would it be traditional? Would it be modern? Should it have some lighting available in it? Once you decide all of those things, then we would select the fireplace to meet the requirements of that project. Next option would be figuring out all of the vitals of the gas supply, the electrical supply, and the venting. Where do all of those things go? Where do they come from? Gas fitter will be able to deal with the gas supply, and electrician to deal with the electrical connection to it. And then the fireplace installer would do the venting. It could be a wall termination, it could be a roof termination. We have to figure out all of those. If it's a really tricky installation in past jobs, there are power venter kits that are available. If we can't go up through the roof, if we're in the middle of of a home or a building, then we can add a power venter kit to allow the exhaust to come down through the floor and then out underneath it.
And it's really important for the contractor to know all of that information, because once you've installed the fireplace, if you've installed it incorrectly and it's the wrong elevation, then you've got to take it all back, and it's really hard to go backwards once you've installed the fireplace. So it's super important to have great communication with the trade, the customer, and the installer, so that you can ensure that the fireplace is set at the right elevation, it's the correct distance away from the wall, and everything is prepared, because otherwise, if you go all the way to the end and something is done incorrectly, you pretty much have to start all over again.
Right. Any construction project, having a plan and having the elevations before you start, so all of the different people that are involved in the install of a fireplace know what's expected of them, and so that no errors are made, because homeowners like to pay for things once, not twice.
Yeah. We've talked a lot about gas units. There's obviously different styles, traditional, modern, but now I've noticed a trend a little bit where people don't want to spend the money on a gas unit and they're flipping towards an electric unit.
The electric fireplaces, Napoleon, again the Canadian manufacturer of them, have done really great things with the aesthetics. There's many different choices. Again, some glass, some logs. You can change the type of the color of the flame. You can change it from blues to oranges to reds. So there's lots of different choices to fit a room. It's got a phantom screen on it so that you don't have the glare of a piece of glass in front of it. So like your television wouldn't reflect off of it, or a window, sun coming in a window doesn't reflect off of it. So this one is called phantom screen.
So with either an electric fireplace or a gas fireplace, there are several different media options, obviously. It looks like you've got a few different options on display in your showroom, and I'm curious about these rocks. They look fairly realistic, but they aren't real.
Right, they're made out of ceramic fiber material. Same with all of the logs, they're made out of a ceramic fiber material. So They won't change over with years of use. On the fireplaces that have the ceramic logs, the heat will create kind of a glow in the base of the where the log is connected to the flame, giving it a very realistic, really realistic view in comparison to an actual wood fireplace.
I'd like to thank you for taking the time with us today to discuss all the different options with a gas fireplace, an electric fireplace, and kind of give us the ins and outs of how we should prepare ourselves when we're looking at purchasing a fireplace or making that decision for a fireplace. So I'd like to thank you, and please share out this video, like and subscribe, and tune into the next one.
Transfer switch on the other side.
Yeah, let's just talk about the nice weather for a minute.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about that, because like 2 weeks ago it was -30. If you're considering adding a backup generator to your business, let's put it this way, if the power were to go out with your business,